Namaste. Namaste, Shambra. Namaste, Shambra. It is I, Master Kutumi, and I wouldn't miss this day for all the world. To be with Shambra once again, I'm just drinking in your energies, your essence. I see a few problems here as I drink you in. We're going to work on that today. This will not go down in the history of shouds as being the most profound or the most esoteric, but it's going to be a day of moving some things along. What a joy to be here again on stage with all of you. It's all of our stage here. It is the shoud, this magic, beautiful energy, the safe space, where we can be ourselves, where we can be angels, where we can let go of some of these fears and concerns for a few minutes. We can be with our family and our friends right here, right now. What a delight. Let us take a deep Kutumi breath together and feel these energies. And what do I see today? I see you have eaten half the elephant, and the other half is hanging out of your mouth. And it's not the pretty side of the elephant that's hanging out, not at all. I'll explain more as we get into our day, but what a joy when Tobias came to me recently and said, Kutumi, would you be with Shambra on this Valentine's shoud? Would you be with Shambra while Saint-Germain and I go ahead to Israel and Egypt? And would you come and meet us in Egypt also with your group of Shambra as we come back to this land that's so important to you? I jumped at the opportunity. So often Tobias and Saint-Germain, they're up here in front of you, but I'm with you on such a personal, day-to-day level. I'm with you going through some of these rather interesting, challenging times that you are in. I'm up here trying to make you laugh once in a while. You get a little stuck at times, and maybe you can feel me coming around, trying to put a little humor into your life, trying to get you out of that serious mode that you get into, and more than anything, trying to get you out of that very mindful mode that you get into. So, dear Shambra, today we're going to spend a little time eating the rest of that elephant, digesting a little bit. What a wonderful day to be here with the launch of my new book. Oh, and Marissa too. We had such a delightful time working on this book together. And truly, when you'll all discover, when you open up your energies to the non-physical beings, like I, Kutumi, Saint-Germain, Tobias, and many, many others, what a joy it is for both of us to work together. We keep you from trying to get so mental about things, so structured in what you do. We provide you with feeling, and that is what we did together, Marissa. If you remember our days and nights working together, getting you into that feeling energy, that energy allowed you to go back into this lifetime of mine as Tuthmos, and really feeling into these experiences, and then putting them into your energy as well. Being able to recount the story. The individual facts are not so important, but the feeling and the essence. Dear Shambra, Tobias and Saint-Germain have said it, but I will say it again. What a wonderful time in your life right now to create. Oh, then the energies are this high and this intense. When the energies are this open. You see, never before has there been so much chaos and so little structure. Never before has there been so much uncertainty and doubt in human consciousness. Never before have there been so many new openings. You might call them portals, openings, gateways into expanded consciousness, into new ideas. And you've heard all of this about new energy in a theoretical type of concept. Now, Adamus is going to be taking some of you into the very specific workings of new energy, not so long from now. But you've heard about this concept. It's hovering around you right now, waiting for the invitation and waiting for the opening. It's hard to see sometimes because the mind tends to go back and try to look at ways you've handled things before. But if you can stop for just a moment, take that deep breath and just laugh out loud. I'm going to add that to what Tobias says. Take a deep breath and then laugh it out. Laugh it out. You take a deep breath. Let us do that again. Take a deep breath and laugh it out. That was good, Shambro. That was very good. I'm going to record that for one of my laugh tracks for a TV show that I'll do. When you laugh out that energy, that's when it gets fun. That's when it gets intriguing. So I'm here today we're going to do a little work together to get into some of this energy, to keep it moving. It's very, very easy right now to get stuck. Very easy. Kind of like walking through a very difficult maze or a trap. It's very easy to get caught in it. And then what do? You breathe. You laugh a little bit about it. You talk to us. One of the biggest reasons that we're here is not to impart our grand, brilliant wisdom on you. It's to encourage yours. We're here to listen to you because when you talk to us out loud, and that I would recommend that to you, talk to us out loud. When you try talking through your mind to us, it has a different effect on you. But when you can hear your own voice talking out loud and then listening back to us, it helps put a clarity on things. It helps keep that energy moving in such a delightful way. That's what we're here for. We're not all that busy that we can't come in and talk to you. We're not so tied up with other humans that we don't have time to joke with you a little bit, to talk to you. Now, some of you come to us, any of the entities, and want us to solve it for you, but that's not why we're here either. We're here to help you discover the brilliant being that you are. Help you to discover and bring in this thing called NAMASTE. We're here to help you begin to bring in new energy. New energy is nearly beyond definition. Because definition would mean something from the past, and the old energy and the new energy are so different in how they work. The new energy is brilliant. It is very quick and efficient. Sometimes even right now you encounter these problems or challenges in your life and then you brood on them. Brooding, That is going over and over again. You just keep that cycle going with that problem, just like your hard drive on your computer processes information, be like processing it over and over. And it gets you more frustrated and it gets you lower in energy, gets you more stuck. That's brooding over something. You know, new energy doesn't need to brood. New energy creates. It expands. It opens up. So we're here to help you take that breath in. And when you do, breathe in true new energy. Breathe it in. So I'm delighted to be here today for the launch of the book that will launch more books, perhaps help launch more of your projects, perhaps encourage you to try things you haven't tried before. I'm also here because I'm working with the energies of Linda, of Norma and Garrett and Caldra as they get ready to embark on their trip to Egypt. Oh, they're going to have some experiences. As well as all the rest who are joining the group. Why are they going to have experiences? Because they've asked for it. They've asked for it, and they've all felt the same frustrations that you have. They've felt this desire to reach into these new strata of consciousness, this brand new strata, where very few, if any, humans have even gone yet. And they're struggling, like so many of you, to say, how do we make this work into our lives? Here we have our typical human conditions that we have to contend with, our bodies. Things like traveling, paying your bills, resolving work-related issues, all of these human things. How can we possibly reach into this new strata of consciousness? It's frustration that all of you have. So they've designed this opportunity with other Shambhara who are going to join on this trip. Designed this opportunity, in a sense, to go back to some of their own roots, go back to some of the mysteries of humanity, to take a new and different look at the things from the past, to help them to understand what can be with the new energy. So we are here helping to prepare you for your upcoming journey. Let us take a deep breath, because what they discover, you will discover also. For there is this beautiful, sacred energy of Shambhara, where you are all unique and sovereign creators. And that is a key word, dear Shambhara, unique and sovereign. Yet you are all connected at such an intimate and trusting and open level. That in itself is a challenge for some humans, to recognize themselves as independent, but yet so open and trusting that they can be interconnected, especially with other unique and sovereign beings. One of the challenges of going into this new strata for humans in general, because there is an interesting desire on the part of humans to return to some oneness, or some, I call it, nothingness. To return to some homogeneous, unidentified, rather boring type of fantasy bliss. So many humans think, if I can just go back to the beginning, back to my oneness, then all will be perfect. Well, if you went back to your oneness, you wouldn't know who you are anymore, because you would just be blended in with all the rest of this oneness. So you would die a death of spirit rather than just dying the death of the human condition. Oh no, you don't go back. You expand out and in. You come to understand yourself as a sovereign oneness. What Saint-Germain calls your own one. And in your own oneness, then you understand how everything else works. Because you have to understand how you work first. Pity on those who try to find the answers to life's imposing questions by looking outside. Who try to go back into history to find the answers of today. Pity on those who forget to look within and are always looking outside. Like there is some secret in the stars. Like there is some God in the other dimensions, but not here. Pity on those who get so caught up in the mind that they forget to go into their own spirit. Oh, and I can make that observation, dear ones. For I, above any but perhaps Adamus, have gotten so stuck in the past, have lost everything on my way to ascension. Now, some of you didn't think that was so funny when I talked about that in one of our shouts. A funny thing happened on the way to ascension. I lost everything. But dear Shambra, it feels like that for a moment. And that moment can feel like an eternity, but it is just a moment. It can feel like that. You lose everything to discover more than everything. You lose everything that you thought you were because it's a facade. It's an illusion. It's all an illusion. Oh, how real you try to make that illusion, don't you? How you try to hold on to the thing that you're trying to get out of. How you struggle through the day, but when I come to take the day away from you, you scream and try to get it back. Silly, silly humans. So, dear Shambra, dear Shambra, oh, as I was saying, I know what it's like to get so stuck, so into this loop, into this process that you can't get out. This new energy thing, you're just starting to discover it. The moment you think you have a little bit of an understanding, it eludes you. It goes into some sort of hiding. Every time you feel that new strata, it goes away to somewhere else, doesn't it? Every time you feel yourself just on the verge of blossoming, you shut down. You close down like a bad chastity belt. And I have to tell you, I told Caldra that I would have some very bad humor today, just to get you off of that spot that you're in. So where were we? Oh yes. We have talked, you and I, each one of you and I. Just as Tobias talks to you and Adamus talks to you, I have talked to you about this new energy. Part of you so much wants to know what it's like. But then there's that other part that is afraid of experiencing it without having it defined, without having it put in a very neat order and written down on a sheet of paper with guarantees and fine print and everything else. You want a 30-day money-back guarantee. You want me to give you a trial, a demonstration, or a test run, and it doesn't work that way. New energy, it's different for those who are somewhat new to this gathering of Shambhala. You see, the vibrational energy works by opposing forces, or duality. You describe it as light and dark, masculine and feminine, up or down, but you see everything has its opposing forces. And that's the way your reality has been created up to now. And that, by the way, is a very effective way of creating reality up to a point. Up to the point of the spirit and the consciousness wanting to learn from a different way. No longer wanting the same old repeating patterns, opposing forces, good versus bad, drama, 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 going on. The consciousness gets to a point, your spirit gets to a point where it says, I know now how duality works. I know the battle. I've had many of them. I know the opposing forces. And I know neither force can ever win. They just keep opposing. They keep in their same patterns. So the consciousness says, there's got to be more out there. There has to be something beyond opposing forces, and there is. But this illusion that you live in is so strong, and it wants so much to hold on to its identity. It doesn't want to let go. It grabs onto it. And then that is supported by all the other energies of your reality, your workplace and even your physical, your environmental reality. All hold on desperately to try to keep this illusion together. But yet the consciousness comes out and says, there's got to be a different way to experience life. And that's where you're at right now. And there is. There is. And it involves something we call new energy. New energy isn't vibrational. New energy is expansional. This goes back to Shambhala 101. Old stuff for some of you, but new to some of the others. In this new energy, it doesn't need an opposing force to know itself. It doesn't need the reflection of itself, the mirror image. It doesn't need something to bounce itself off of. It is expansional because it flows out gracefully and it flows in at the same time. It is so different than the old vibrational energy that it's hard to recognize. You're used to feeling energy at a certain level. You're used to a certain very typical response in your 3D duality environment. But the new energy is so different. I don't even want to try to describe it in detail. Adamus will do that later. I just am asking you to be open to it. Particularly in some of these issues that are facing you in your life right now, that have just really got you down, really got you frustrated. Now, take a moment to look beyond that frustration. You blame it on some of the individual things that are happening in your life right now. But that frustration is really your consciousness and your spirit wanting to open up, wanting to experience in a different way. And it can. It can. Here's the challenge. It might mean letting go of the illusion, of the old illusion. It might mean letting go of some of those things that you've been holding on to so tightly. Some of the old ways of doing business that you've had. And this can be frightful to the human illusion. It doesn't want to let go until it has some assurances. But this is where you come in. Your trust. Your trust not in anything on the outside, but your trust in yourself. Your ability to trust at such a deep level, knowing that it does work out. Now that's a little bit frightening, because part of the old energy conditioning is to always trust someone else. Always lean on somebody else that it's going to work out. But here in this new consciousness, you are being asked to trust yourself. To trust this leap that you're taking into new energy, which is almost undefinable. To take the leap into new energy that doesn't work anything like the old energy. To take this leap into a different way of experiencing life, experiencing yourself outside of the old illusion. There are quite a few Shambhala who have allowed this to some degree, and they will be the first to tell you, just do it. Just take that trust. Just take that leap. You have nothing to lose except the illusion of what you had before. They're amazed, and they would tell you, as I am telling you, it is so infinitely simple, so delightfully easy, that it's hard. Part of the old duality conditioning makes things hard. That's part of your illusion. Make it hard to make it real. You see, the new energy, it is so easy that old part of you is going to deny that it can be done that way. It's going to resist it because it wants to make it difficult. But remember, you are the sovereign being. You can choose easy. You can choose to take that leap. You can choose to trust yourself. But enough of the lectures. Okay, where are we right now? Shambhala. Stuck energy. Let me define a little bit about what's going on. The world is in chaos, as it never has been before. Energy is moving faster. Consciousness is more stuck in one way, more threatened in another way, and more fearful than it's ever been, even in my lifetimes on earth. You have government leaders at the highest levels, with a few exceptions, that have no clue. Now, they get in front of the television cameras and they say, we have looked at this issue and we feel that we have the appropriate new program, which will involve some new taxes, of course, to handle the issues that are in front of the populace. And we ask everybody to have confidence. Then they run back to their little rooms that they hide in, and they don't know what to do. This is very, very prolific around the earth right now. We drop in sometimes, particularly Adamus, at these meetings of your G8. We call them the G-Whiz meetings. And and everybody acts important, and they act like they have to defend and create this energy for their country, for their constituents. And they go into these meetings and they have all sorts of documents, massive massive documents that they have not read and never will. And they put forth solutions that they don't even believe in because they know that those solutions will never get accepted. They go in and throw these solutions on the table knowing it's simply a matter of debate or a point of debate and not a point of solution. So your leaders, with a few exceptions, do not have a clue of how to handle the world's problems right now. Partly because there has been no school, there have been no mentors that have ever gone through what is happening on earth before. So it's all speculation, and it's all theory, and more than anything, it's all window dressing. It's like the Oz behind the curtain, making the big noises, but not having a clue. Now, that should be a little bit unsettling for you. Just a little bit. And by the way, we have to laugh because we do drop in on these meetings. Have you ever noticed that at the end of the day, the solutions always mean either hiring somebody to study it, which means nothing will ever get done, or increasing taxes, which means a few people get wealthier. But, dear friends, in the hallways of governments and parliaments and legislatures and dictatorships and all the rest of these, they don't know. That's frightening. Let's move on to the next frightening scenario. And dear Jean, I'm saying this in earnest to you. I'm saying this from my heart. Bankers. Now, that's a scary breed of humans on earth right now. You see, this banking community, and Saint-Germain will talk more about the evolution of the current banking systems. But it evolved out of some of the very old feudal systems, which right there should give you a clue as to the energy behind it. And then it, without getting into conspiracy, it came to a select group of humans from a select group of bloodlines that created somewhat a global system for finances and for banking. Now, you have a crisis worldwide, and they don't have a clue. The big names that you have heard that Calder is saying we can't say Rockefeller, but the big names that have been behind monies over a long period of time, they don't have a clue. Now, in a way, they don't care because they pay careful attention. They think that they have enough so that they're insulated from the crisis that is going on in the rest of the world. But, you know, when new energy and old energy get together, sometimes they don't mix so well, you see. Sometimes, how to say, what did Tobias called it? The collisions occur, and very unexpected things happen. Very unexpected. But so right now they're sitting in their mansions, taking a look at this banking crisis, and they don't have a clue what to do. So they send out a lot of messages, and they come up with a lot of new programs that they send down the road to the ones who sit at the actual banks, the ones who are making the loans, the ones who are sitting in government not regulating when they're supposed to be regulating. And what they're doing right now is creating commotion. It's called a smoke screen. To give the impression that they know what to do. But, dear Shambra, they don't have a clue. Not at all. They are as perplexed as you are. No, I'm sorry. They are more perplexed than you are about what to do. They're trying to go back into the old systems. They're trying to go back to their forefathers' way of doing it, and it doesn't work. Right now, they're trying almost anything to make it look like they're doing something. And that adds to the general chaos, adds to the confusion of the day. Businesses. Businesses are busy right now. Businesses that have been very well established for long periods of time are going through a situation that even their analysts can't analyze. Even their gurus in finance or marketing or R&D can't figure out. They don't know if they're topside or underside at any given point. And as much discussion is taking place around the board tables, nobody really knows what to do. Nobody knows what to do. How could they? In less than 1 year, the world has been turned upside down. Ways of doing business of the old are not necessarily the ways of the new. Those who held the power, finding the power melting away, and nobody knows what's going to happen next. It's a pretty scary deal. And I could continue going down the line and down the line and down the line, talking about institutions, talking about those who have been the leaders, those who've been helping to pave the way in the past, don't have a clue. And that in itself should be frightening to the human self, the human mind. But as you are feeling into these energies, in another way, it's extremely liberating. There's always the fear that what happens if there's mass chaos on earth? What happens if this situation right now gets pulled so tight that it snaps? What happens if we do a little repeat of Atlantis? What happens if the weather gets so bad that it causes a lack of food, that it causes riots in the streets? So there's that human part of you that's really feeling into this. And that's where we're at. You've been eating the elephant, and the big pink elephant that it is this whole thing called the change into new energy. You've been feeling consciousness changing, or at least wanting to change. You've been feeling the tension and the uncertainty all over the world. Why? Because you're Shambhala. Because you're connected to earth as you are connected to the heavens. Because you have the deepest level of empathy and you feel things. Because there is an inner knowingness that right now is such a historic, unprecedented time. You know that from your personal experiences that it's not just a little bit of change, as some are trying to say. It is the grandest evolution, perhaps revolution, of all times. So, let's take a deep breath and toast to that. So you started bringing in this feeling and bringing in this energy. You started eating away at the big elephant. Oh, and it is huge. It is the hugest elephant that you've ever encountered. And you said, but I'm Shambhala. I'm here to help keep this energy moving. I'm here at this time of phenomenal change on earth. And you started eating that elephant and you realized you couldn't eat anymore. And it got stuck halfway. You got part of the elephant in you, part of the elephant hanging out of the orifices of your physical body. Because it's only part way in, your natural, what I'm going to call your consciousness digestive system, the ability to feel energies, the ability to feel them totally, and then let them flow through, has gotten stuck. We've got consciousness, a type of constipation. And it's stuck. And then you wonder what's wrong. You come back to all of us, Adamus, Kuan Yin, Tobias, myself. What's going on? How come we feel all this tension? How come nothing is right? How come I feel like I can't keep the energies flowing? And we have long talks, and we tell you to keep it simple. We tell you what I'm going to tell you today. Very simple. Probably is not going to make it into any big academic book or spiritual discovery book, but you finish eating that elephant. What does that mean? You've allowed yourself to feel part of the phenomenal changes taking place not only here on earth, but also in the non-physical realms. You've allowed yourself a taste of this delicious but sometimes frightening transition. But then it stopped. Went into kind of a fearful paralysis, consciousness paralysis. And that's where you're at. You're not digesting what's already in. You're not eating what's still hanging out. But today, in the very simplest way, not using the old ways at all, not using the mind, and I don't want any of you doing affirmations. Affirmations suck. Really bad suck. Affirmation is a spiritual dung pile. Because you don't believe it. Otherwise you wouldn't be saying it. You don't trust it. It smells. It's mental masturbation. So, dear friends, let's not do those affirmations. Leave those to the other affirmative action humans out there. Visualizations are much the same. When you try to visualize. Now, I have to scold some of you here, and you know who you are. We've had a few talks. You try to visualize this world peace and world order according to what? According to whose vision? And according to what precedents you see? Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of, celestial email from humans saying, but that's what we all have to do right now. We have to visualize world peace. We're going to do world prayer group. We're going to do world meditation. Based on what? Your old concept of the world? Your past? Ways you've done it before? The same old program?
Take it easy, buddy.
I'm being a jack in the box.
Jack something.
It's the same old routine. So let's dispense with that today as you allow yourself to do the consciousness digesting and start eating the rest of that consciousness that you're feeling. Because it's new, so new energy that it doesn't come from the past. It can't be defined, it can't be visualized, it can't be described. It can't be affirmed, it can't be meditated, it can't be prayed. It just is. You see how simple it is? I know some of you just have this desire. There's one of you right here that actually wants me to organize some portal opening group somewhere in the world. We're going to go there and do our affirmations and whatever other things. It doesn't work. Why? Not that it's bad. Not that it doesn't come from a heartfelt place. But it's old. It's old. So often when individuals or groups get together in affirmations, they're affirming their old way of doing things. They are praying and begging for old solutions. They are using tricks and they're using cliches based on old. But dear friends, it is so new right now. Sometimes it's more comforting to sit in a group and sing Kumbaya. I know some of you would love if Adamus came in here with his magic white powder. Oh yes, oh he must have that magic white powder. He doesn't. Because that would be fascinating, it would be dramatic, and it would be perhaps a temporary relief. But that's not where it is. Those are just tricks, deceptions, and not of any ill nature, but they are just reconjuring the old. That's not why you're here. So today we're going to move into that deepest level of feeling. Half the elephant in, half the elephant out. What do? A little breathing. A little breathing. And here's the challenge. There's been a little bit of, stuck energy here. Because part of you is truly afraid to feel, to really feel. You let yourself have a taste, but to really feel the chaos that's going on Earth right now. And by the way, as Tobias has told you, you have this wonderful habit of, when you get into this kind of a consciousness type of constipation, then turning it on yourself and blaming yourself for not doing something right. It's not about that at all. There is a natural tendency based on your past. When you get to a certain point in feeling, sensing, allowing yourself to absolutely let these energies of chaos, of change and transformation be felt in every part of you, to stop, to wonder if you can handle more. You get into this kind of frozen state of being. But today we're going to, in this group energy, move it into a full state of feeling. I'm going to invite you to let yourself absolutely feel the earth chaos energy. Let yourself feel this lack of hope that so many humans feel right now. Let yourself feel the uncertainty that so many of the leaders feel. Let yourself feel how so many of the world's leaders know the fraud that is taking place, but allow it to keep taking place. Let yourself feel these weather patterns that Tobias talked about. You see, you've been assaulted by all of this, and then you stopped. The whole process stopped, and it was stuck somewhere half in and half out of you. So right now, in this sacred, safe space, let it all come in. Into your body. It's not going to do it will not cause cancer in your body. Oh, you've been afraid. You've held off. You've said, oh, if I let it get any more into me, it might destroy my organs, my liver. Let it come in. Let it be experienced fully within you. Those energies are just energy. It's just consciousness. Let yourself, at the deepest level of empathy, feel the fear that humans are going through right now, wondering if they're going to have their home next month, whether their retirement account will be there for them. Let yourself feel the fear that humans have, that the very governments that are there to serve them might crumble. Let yourself absolutely fear one of the things that you fear the most. The fear of humans wondering if it is indeed the end of the world. And I'll give you a hint, it is. End of the world as you knew it. The end of the old way of doing things. It is here. It's not going to wait for a couple years or a couple decades or centuries. It is here. Let yourself bring that into your body through the breath. Let yourself absolutely feel it. Don't try to filter. Don't try to just take the good parts, and don't go mental on me. Feel it. Your mind has created this type of frozen state where all the energies have become paralyzed because it's trying to figure all of it out in the safe space. Let your mind feel and even experience all of this consciousness. The other part of the elephant. Let your emotions feel it. You become paralyzed, frozen, because you don't think your emotions can handle any more. You can barely stand to look at a newspaper, hear any news from the world, because your dear emotions are so overwhelmed. You don't think you can handle anything. You're having troubles of your own, you say. How can you take on all this? In this safe space, bring it in. You'll be surprised at what you can handle. The discomforts that you've been feeling in your body, the chaos and the uncertainty in your mind, are these paralyzed energies because you are beings who can feel everything around you, all around you, in a global state. And you started to take some of it in, and then became paralyzed, stuck. All of your alarm bells went off. It stopped right there. So, what do? Well, you either spit it out, which is nearly impossible. You can't go back. You can't unfeel what you've already felt. Or you take it the rest of the way in. So, take that deep breath. Let yourself take it the rest of the way in. Let it flow into your body, in your mind, in your spirit, in your emotions, in every part of you. Let yourself absolutely embody the consciousness of humanity right now. And as you're doing that, let yourself shift into this higher strata or new strata of consciousness. All the potentials to be with the new energy. Let yourself expand in there. Now it's a lot that you're bringing in. Consciousness of humanity, all the chaos. By the way, chaos is a beautiful word, not a bad word. Chaos is life in motion. Beyond what the mind can define in its structures. Chaos has come to mean something bad. It is absolutely beautiful. And that's one thing you'll discover as you expand into the strata of new energy. That allows you to bring in all of this feeling, empathy, feeling, bring it into your body, your mind, your human reality right now without being overwhelmed. Now, don't try to push it out the door right away either. Some of you are saying, okay, I'll bring it in for just a moment and then push it back out. I'm asking you to sense, to feel, to digest the this thing called the human consciousness, the world today. If it is chaos, if it is misery or fear or new potentials or whatever, bring it in. I was really paralyzed there, just in a very uncomfortable way for you, and then your body starts to show its signs of how you were in this feeling paralysis. So many of you have really been hit hard lately in some of your body limbs. Pain in the hands, so many of you are experiencing. The hands and the knees and the feet. This is because that energy got stuck halfway in. And then your body reacts. Problems with the shoulders and the neck and the back and all of these others, all related to only letting yourself bring in some of this energy. As you were like allowing yourself to feel humanity and the changes and all of the entities in the near earth realm, including the angelic beings working with you and the human beings who are stuck over there. You're feeling all of them as well. He just went into overwhelm. He just went into trying to use old energy tools to resolve something very, very different. So in this space, let yourself totally bring it in. Even allowing yourself to feel, to digest in these energies, some of those beings in the near earth realms who are really stuck, really trapped, as well as the angelic beings and all of the rest. Take a deep breath. Bring this in. I can see such a clear picture of where you were earlier today. Let yourself taste just a little bit of what is going on, and then it's stuck. By being bold and fearless here and tasting all of it, feeling every part of it, suddenly realize there's something else coming in right now. And that's that new energy that we've been talking about. It comes in also. Now that you got this all in you, now that you ate all the elephant, now it's in your tummy, it's in your emotions, in your mind. Now what do you do? Now what do we do? Well, dear friends, you just keep breathing. Because you don't have to now try to push this out. You don't have to try to get rid of it. It naturally transmutes. And it goes from being a fearful energy, or doubtful. It goes from being overwhelming energy back into its pure state. It naturally works its way out of any body tissues that it's been in. It naturally works its way through the mental. It naturally works through your emotions. And what you have at the end of this constant process, this flowing process, is new insight, new clarity, and simplicity. You have a deeper understanding of what's taking place in the world. A deeper understanding of your world. So your world, your personal world, and the outside world are so intermingled and so confused, it was hard to tell the difference one from the other. And now it gives you more clarity about you. You can't do this if you're only letting yourself partially feel what's going on. The energy will get stuck if you're just partially feeling. certainly I can understand why you got to a point where you said, I can't take it anymore. And that is the time to take another bite, to take it in even deeper. So you keep breathing this in right now, and we're going to do a few things a little different right now. We're going to ask that you keep breathing this in, and we're going to ask for a little guidance or a little human assistance in our breathing. But I would be so honored to ask my dear friend Garrett to come up here and do some breathing with you. Often, we have worked together so much in the past that it would be such an honor. Sometimes he stands back, but I want you to see his brilliance, his way of bringing it all in, his way of feeling all of it, and watching how the natural processes then transmute it. So, dear Anna, if you could do a little breathing.
I'm so grateful for this topic because this has been Norma's and mine goal, quest for the last 3 or 4 years. And we try in our seminars to extend the invitation and invite you into this. So I'm just so grateful that this is on the front plate, on the front burner now. So just feel this. Don't worry about air going in and out of your body. Those are the training wheels. Just feel this. Not that we are the masters of this yet, but we are committed to this path. Not that we can tell you how to do it, but we can tell you we are going to do it. So just feel this now. Feel this part of you that's talking to you right now. That's saying, yes, we can do it. We want to do this. We are committed to doing this. Feel this part of you inside of you that is inviting you to join it. Feel this Gnost in you. Feel the divinity in you that is saying, we, the we of me, can do it. And then, when we walk away from this, say, my footsteps are going to fall on new ground now. Breathe this feeling in, knowing it's there whenever you choose to feel it.
Dear Shambhara, next time you're overwhelmed by what's going on in the world around you, next time you're overwhelmed by what's going on in your personal world, changes in everything about you, instead of stepping back, or instead of stopping, finish what's on your plate. Eat the rest of it. That is the perfect time, instead of backing away, to go in deeper. Now, it seems to be a contradiction. It seems to want to be the time to run and hide or to turn down the valve and say, it's all I can take. But take in the rest. Take in the rest of that feeling, that consciousness. Because what happens here, when you do that, now that new energy can flow in. to be part of what happens next, part of your consciousness, part of this new strata that we talk about. Don't hold back is what we're saying. Don't just take in a little bit and then stop. Go for it. We don't want to have to set up any halfway houses for Shambhala. We'll have full houses for Shambhala. Now, back to the issue of what do you do once you take this all in, once you go beyond overwhelm in the mind, in the emotions, in your body. Oh, we've heard so many of you saying, I can't take any more. That's the time to take more. That's the time to bring it on. Because in that moment, that's when the true transmutation, the alchemy into new energy takes place. Your systems do get overloaded, by the way. What a perfect time for this new energy to slip right in. Next time you feel at this point of overload, numbness even, bring it on. Take in the rest. Now, it gets into your body, mind, spirit. How do you get it out? You don't try. That's the important thing. You don't try. Trying is a certain, for Shambhala, trying things is going to lead to certain failure. You shouldn't try anything anymore. Trying it is a very old energy, duality way of doing things. So don't try to get rid of it. Don't you trust that the body, the mind, the emotions, the spirit know what to do? Don't you trust that this energy that you brought in, this feeling, is also like a river, it flows through after it is delivered its gift and its wisdom and its expansion. That's why you're doing it, to receive that gift. Now, you're also doing something else that is very, very, very important. Remember I said that the bankers don't know how to bank anymore. The politicians don't know how to politic. The business people have no clue. Nobody knows what to do right now. Very few exceptions. They don't know what to do. Who does? Well, God doesn't know what to do. God doesn't really care. They're having a grand time watching. You are God, dear friends. You are God. Having a grand time experiencing all of this. The aliens, they don't have a clue. They are so clueless about what goes on Earth. They're still green. That should tell you something. So, who has a clue? Who knows the answers? If they don't. If these trusted institutions and trusted organizations don't have a clue, well, you do. You don't think that you do, but you do. When you allow yourself to take it all in, to eat the other half of the elephant, to bring it in even when you're in overwhelm, because this is the transmutation of consciousness that you personally, individually go through. What you go through then also as a group of Shambhala and enlightened beings on earth that sends out the rays or the beams that open up the new levels of consciousness that come in to the new leaders, the new bankers, the new researchers, or the old ones that are willing to change. Literally, dear Shambhala, the answers to tomorrow for this world are in you. Are in you. Once you scratch your head and say, but I don't know the first thing about finance. How could I be the one? I don't want to be in business. How could it be me that has the answers? It's all about consciousness, enlightenment, new sources right now. That's why you're the answer. You become the conduit. You become the opening that others can follow after you. They can see from the example of how you can go beyond overwhelm or beyond the old illusions into the new. You become the first one to climb the mountain or cross the chasm or however you want to say it, but the first one into this new level of consciousness. They'll intuitively feel it. They'll intuitively tap into your energy as the standard and then use it. Use it in their professions, in their way of doing things. You may be the ones that inspire them through the books that you write, the music that you sing, or whatever else your expression is. That is why those of us on the angelic realms, in particular, have such an interest in what you're doing. Not only that we have such a great love and honor for you, but we also seeing what is really going on here on earth. I'm going to ask one of my favorite musicians to play one of my favorite songs. I'm going to ask you to hear into this music as if all of us, Adamus, Kuan Yin, Tobias, myself, and the others of the Crimson Council, we're singing it to you. And while we do, I'm going to ask you to finish eating what's on your plate. Take in the rest of that energy and let yourself feel it outrageously. The stuff you've been holding off of, this chaos energy of the earth, bring it in. Your system knows how to, exactly what to do with it, how to release it. It's not going to get stuck in there. It's not going to cause you to have bad luck. It's not going to cause you to get some disease. Quite the opposite. While this music is playing, dear friends, take in the rest.
And you need some love and care. Nothing, no, nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me. Soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, yes I will, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. Friend, now the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, that old north wind just began to blow. Keep your head together, call that name out loud. Soon you'll hear me knocking upon your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, yes I winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. Now ain't it good to know that you've got a friend? People can be so cold. They'll hurt you, they'll desert you, take your soul if you let them. Oh, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I come running, running here to see you again. Don't you know that winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You got a friend, you got a friend now. Ain't it good to know you got a friend? You got a friend now. Oh honey, you got a friend.
Dear Shambra, it will get more intense on Earth. It's natural. As this time of new consciousness comes, as this time of change comes, it will get very, very intense, and many will not be able to handle it. That's the time we say to you, as Shambra, as consciousness pioneers, as consciousness leaders on Earth, that is the time to actually bring it in. Just when you think you're at the point of overwhelm, it's too much, I can't handle it, that's actually the time to breathe it in. Now, it may seem to be an illogical step, but it's actually a very natural step. You finish eating, you let it digest, you let the new energy come in and transmute, and you find out how absolutely simple it is. And what appears to be a chaos or confusion or loss of hope is actually a bright new day for you and eventually for the others on Earth. We'll come to the time of our questions and answers in just a moment, but I want to express again what a delight being with Shambra. Namaste. Namaste.